Hello, beautiful people. I am back. I'm sitting outside at 9:30 at night. I have got acid reflux. Horrible tonight. It is, ugh. It's like trying to regurgitate up on me, and I'm like, oh no. I got the burning bile, ugh, in my throat. It's disgusting. Whew. How are y'all doing? Leave a comment down below and tell me. I know what's causing mine. I got into an argument with somebody. It, well, it wasn't so much an argument. It was me finally standing up for myself. Let me explain. I call a family member once a month. I do this because I worry about her. She lives by herself in this beautiful two-story home in San Francisco. It's a beautiful home, going upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs. Honey, you can't be doing that at 90 plus years old, even if you got round the clock care. You know, it concerns me. Well, my mom had, for years and years and years and years and years, lied about me to her family. She would lie about me to anybody who would listen to her. Not just her family, but her so-called friends, you know. And if that didn't work, then she would run to my friends and lie about me to them. I had several people over the years. I had one of her personal friends tell me, she goes, Kirsten, I really don't like how your mom talks about you. And I'm like thinking to myself, I don't care. And I really don't. You know, my mom turned around and said I was a drunk and all this other stuff. Ugh. 4 sips of wine, I'm knocked the hell out. But that's beside the point. Oh, this bile. Ugh. Taste up in my mouth. And I'm hoping by talking about it, I'm releasing a lot of the stress. Well, there was some other things my mom had lied about. And certain family members on her side believe that she didn't lie about me to my dad's side. Because my dad's side did not like her. My grandparents, nobody liked my mom. Nobody. That I can say for sure. So I had turned around. I was like, okay, what is going on? You know, why is my mom lying about me? And it wasn't me. It's her. All those years, it was her insecurities. Trying to put me down, and that's her way of doing it, lying about me to her family, to put me down, to build herself up. And I was like, oh lordy, these people are extra special. Well, I do not like calling this family member, because the conversation started up good. Even though she is 90 plus years old, I'll say that much. Well, later in the conversation, she wanted to start personally attacking me. Attacking me about things I don't even know about. And like I said, I don't know all the lies my mom had told her side of the family about me. I don't even know all the lies that she told her friends about me, or my friends about me. And these are lies. So she turned around for all these years. Lie, lie, lie. Well, the other day when I had called this elderly family member, I I had turned around and I told her, I was like, how you doing? The heat wave's kicking our butt out here. And she goes, oh, it's 65 here. And I was like, oh, okay, now I'm officially a green-eyed monster. Well, well, later in the conversation, she wanted to personally attack me. I said, hold up, hold up, hold up. And I called her blah, blah, blah. Because, okay, I'll tell you this much. She is my great aunt. Okay. So I called her Aunt blah, blah. I'm not going to even tell you her name. Well, I said, hold up, Aunt so-and-so. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sticking up for myself from now on. And I don't want you to personally attack me anymore. That's it. I'm done with it. I said, it's not me. I said, you're 96 years old, and you are still personally attacking me. Still. I said, I'm not going to put up with it anymore. That's it. I'm done with it. And I advise you right now to stop. Or else I will never speak to you again. Never. Oh, that shut her up real fast. Real fast. I'm telling you. She has shut up. I've never, ever spoke to a family member like that. An elderly family member. And I felt like I was stepping up out of line. But like I told my husband, at my age, 60 plus, these people are not stopping. They just keep attacking me. There's an old saying, if you ignore them, they leave you alone. No, they don't. No, they don't. It just makes them attack more. And then they want to tell lies about you to their friends, their family, your friends. I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it no more. And I flat out told her, listen, I'm standing up for myself now. I'm not going to take any more lies about me from anybody. Nobody. And I told her, I said, you ain't that special to be lying about me. And I said, and this all started because of my mom, years before she had passed away, and you still believe those lies. So I'm not going to have it anymore. And if you keep it up, I'm not talking to you ever again. Not wasn't trying to be mean or anything to her. And I don't know. Maybe it's just me, having a guilt trip about talking to an elderly family member like that. I didn't cuss at her or anything like that. I didn't fuss at her. I was just standing up for my rights. I'm not going to be personally attacked anymore over lies. And then later in the conversation, I told her, I said, Aunt so-and-so, if you want to know anything about me, you ask me. You don't ask anybody else. I said, you run around, you tell everybody how you're so intelligent. Show it. Go straight to the source and ask them. I will flat out tell you if it's a yay or a nay. Ooh, it's so bright out here tonight. And that sun up there. I mean the moon. The sun. Yeah. You can tell I'm tired. I was sleeping so good until all this started to replay up in my head again. And I couldn't take it. I'm like, what the hell? It's me feeling guilty up over it for standing up for my rights. And I've never stood up to anybody like that before, especially an elderly family member. Oh, the guilt I'm feeling. But you know what? I feel good that I finally stood up for myself. Don't sit there and falsely accuse me and cast stones. No, honey. Because then I will talk about your business. I'm the type of person, as long as nobody's breaking the law, I'll keep your secrets until my dying day. I will keep your secrets. But if you think for one moment that you're gonna lie about me and I won't say nothing about you, bull. Bull. Telling me all those years, that she was a social smoker. There's no such thing as a social smoker. A social drinker, yes. And she never admitted to drinking. Never. But she wanted to drag my Oma, her older sister. Because it went my Aunt June, then it went my Oma, then it went to this aunt. Okay. So, yeah, my Oma, she was an alcoholic. She was. She had to have her drinks every single day. Every single day she had to have a drink. And as soon as she got off the city bus, it dropped her off in front of the liquor store right there in front of where she used to live at. It dropped her off and she would immediately hit the liquor store, then walk around the corner to her apartment. That was there in San Jose. And she lived like that for years of being an alcoholic. From the time she was 19 until she was... oh, jeez. I want to say her mid to late 60s. And then she went to AA meetings. Well, my aunt so-and-so talked about her own sister horribly for all those years, saying how Betty Fern was this, Betty Fern was that, blah, 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 Betty this, Betty that. Okay, well, what gives you the right to sit there and talk about your sister? I've seen you, and this is the aunt so-and-so that's 96 years old that likes to talk about everybody else and doesn't want to point the finger at herself and take accountability for anything. Sit there and drink herself. And she does love to drink. She absolutely loves to drink. Aunt blah blah blah, that's 96 years old, that likes to talk about everybody and not admit to it, call everybody else an alcoholic, but aren't you one too? And I'm like thinking to myself, instead of talking about your sister like that and ostracizing her for being an alcoholic, and she admitted it, and she went to AA meetings, and she had quit smoking, she quit drinking, and my Oma was working on herself. She had passed away, I want to say she was 70, late 70s. She wasn't even 80 yet. And when she had passed away, 78, 79, I don't know. It was somewhere around, it might have been earlier, 76, 77, I don't know. And at least my Alma admitted she took accountability. Bile filling up in my mouth. She had taken accountability for her actions. But this Aunt so-and-so that I call once a month does not take accountability for anything that she says or does. You can sit there and drink yourself like that. And not admit to yourself, or let alone anybody else, that you got a drinking problem. I don't know if she does now. I know she's been severely ill, so I don't think so. Not now. I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong. I don't know. In the years of her being a so-called social smoker, I used to smoke, and come this September 22nd, make 1 year, I have been smoke-free. And I freely admit it. Drinking, ugh, yuck. I can't stand the taste of it. I can't stand the smell of alcohol. 4 sips of wine, you'll find me curled up in little balls somewhere going, and I'm like sleeping hard. Drool all running out of my mouth. I can't drink. I can't. And my doctor was always like, you need to drink 4 glasses of wine weekly. You know, he's not saying all at once, like on a Monday, on a Tuesday, skip Wednesday, drink another glass on Thursday, and another glass on Friday, blah, blah, blah. Unless I'm drinking 4 of them weekly. Hell no. I just knock her after 4 sips. I don't care how good it is for you. No. I'm not doing that. And my pants. I was so tired. I was like, I'm going out to bed. I didn't even change up out of my clothes. I did not change at all. Oh, man. I was tired. Probably fell asleep around 7:30. And until I woke up a little after 9:30 with that acid reflux. And look at how hair all over me. The life of a pet owner. Yeah, I fell asleep with my ankle compression socks on. Oh, those things immensely help my torn tendon across here. I got one across the bottom of my foot. I got one behind this knee. That's why I can't, like, put it all the way down. This knee it looks so skinny and everything compared to that knee. Now you see why I have a mobility service dog. Yeah. That's why I got a mobility service dog. He's my baby. My baby. Oh my God. I am so mad and upset. I have to laugh about this, or else I'll get angry and want to go look for this person myself. If you're going to abuse an animal, I want to say this straight up. Go turn yourself into the local police department before I find out. And absolutely do not abuse an animal in front of me. positive reinforcement with dogs is okay. Abuse is never acceptable. And this lady did that. And she thought by swinging her dog around on the leash like that. And it's right down the street. Right down the street down there. And I'm sitting out here that morning and I seen it. Picking him up by his leash, or her, I don't know. And it was a Australian cattle dog mix. And she had picked up her dog. I told you not to walk in front of me. And I'm like, oh, good Lord. She picked up the dog by the leash, slammed it into the person's yard, and then back out there in the street. I'm like, oh my God. No. I'm going to confront her and tell her, hey, if you need help in training your dog, I will help. I'll help. It's not a problem. I will help. So when she came out to the corner up here, I was like, ma'am, excuse me. By then my husband had came outside. This a few years ago. Yeah, when he came outside, I told him real fast and what happened. I said, when she gets up here to the corner, I'm just going to confront her, tell her, if you need some pointers in walking your dog and stuff, I'll help you. You ain't got to pay me nothing for it. I just love helping people. All of a sudden, she gets up here and she wanted, oh my Lord, the filth, the vulgarity coming up out of her mouth towards me for a person. I didn't cuss at her. Ooh, I wanted to. I think she rode the short bus to school. I don't know. But I wanted to. Well, let's just say things got stupid that day. It was the day after my birthday. At least it didn't happen up on my birthday. And I walked away from it and I was furious. I knew something was wrong with my knee when I went to walk away. But I kept my mouth shut and I just kept walking off. It was the adrenaline pumping. I didn't feel it until the next day. Oh, my Lord. And I haven't walked right since then. Found out that's when I tore the tendon in my knee. It's, yeah. And that's why I trained my own service dog. For what? To have somebody else train my dog that's short-tempered like that? Hell no. And I just honestly wanted to tell her, hey, I'll train your dog and I'll do it for free. I'll give you the pointers. I'll show you what I do. Let's go for a walk together. Let me just hold on to the leash. And before I knew it, it was on. You know, she was blah, 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 and blah, 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 and picked up her dog again by the leash and was shaking it back and forth, back and forth. Oh, honey, no, You did it right there in front of me the second time. No, this ain't happening no more. And you know what? I haven't seen her. That was this August. Let's see. Will be 4 years. 4 years I haven't seen her at all. She don't walk her dog around here, period. But, and the doctor told me, he goes, well, you have to have a full knee replacement surgery and blah, blah. Because I waited months before I went into the doctor. I should have went in right away, but I didn't. Because I've sprained my knee before, sprained my ankle before. No, these are torn tendons. No, I'm not having full knee replacement surgery. I'll just train my own dog, thank you very much. And I have trained my mobility service dog, and still training him. Still. He's not fully trained. I think on a daily basis, there's new scenarios and new ways to train your dog. Expose them to different noises, different scents, different sounds to help them work through it so that way they can be the best dog. I expose them to train sounds and around the corner where they're tearing up the old parking lot, and they had what is it called? Some kind of digger that goes along the pavement, and it carves a line up into it. That way they know which section to tear up on the street. I forget what it's called. I forget. It's been so long. And yeah, they're tearing. That was in front of the duplex apartments and blah blah blah. Now they're fixing to do the side of these apartments, and they're really working on those apartments that go there. Even though they're little one-bedroom efficiency apartments, the new owner is really working on it. A new metal roof up on these apartments. They're doing a new parking lot. I don't know if they're remodeling the empty ones in there. They are really working on them, from what I see from the outside. I don't know about the inside. So, yeah. I'm just sitting here trying to enjoy my day. My night. Here in a few hours it will be day. Alright, beautiful people. Y'all come back to me here.